Bye.
What are you trying to do?
Nothing.
Get comfortable.
Hopping around.
Hop around.
It's in a pogo stick, man. These are chairs. Whoa, 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 whoa. These are not jumping chairs.
Wow.
I want to know how people get makeup all over these things.
They're white. White attracts all kinds of dirt. You touch your face, you grab, they're moving it on the sides.
Well, what do you got, makeup on your butt?
Get on your fingers. Scratch your nose. Anchors always touch, they always touch their faces.
Weird, those anchors.
These are some dirty chairs.
Take
Good
a
thing
seat,
we're
Paul.
not anchors, right, guys?
Yeah. We're just television presenters.
We're just internet show personalities.
It's cold in here today.
It's cold. It's allergy-y. What would you say?
Yeah,
It's
all
allergen-y.
counts high, yeah.
I can't breathe, man.
My nose keeps
Oh,
running.
man. I got some good stuff for you. I won't recommend it on the air because I don't like to. It's cool.
Oh, yeah, it sounds.
I'll bring some in. I got tons of it. It's great. It doesn't make you drowsy.
Is it
doesn't make
legal?
you- in 38 countries it is.
Yeah, let's just say they drop it out of planes. Big old bags.
From Cartagena.
Thanks for watching the after show, guys. Paul Gerke, James Quinones, Vanessa Ramirez. I've been struggling with the sniffles throughout the show. Let me know in the comment section how your allergies are holding up. I've been a Zyrtec man, but I think, and I'm not sure about this, I'm no scientist, but I think if you take it consistently,
Your body
you
gets
build
used
up
to
an
it.
immunity to it to some degree because it's not working this morning. So forgive my stuffiness.
Horrible.
What are we talking about on the show today? Names.
Names.
So there was this survey we had in the show this morning that revealed a shocking number of parents don't like what they name their kids. In fact, 1 out of every 7 parents said they made a terrible mistake picking their child's name. So we want to hear from you. If you could pick any name for you or your kid, what would it be? Drop in the comment section and let us know what you think.
I mean, that's a big decision, right? I mean,
Huge.
yeah, and it's like, what if you change, like they said, they changed their mind. It's like, I was feeling like naming my kid Mandy today, but then like 3 months later, you're like, Josh doesn't look like a Mandy. I want to change it to like Brianna, you know?
I hear a lot of parents wait until they see the kid first.
Yeah.
They're like, well, that
And then
doesn't
allow.
look like Vanessa. That looks like Rochelle. Do you care to share your story? Can we cue the story time graphic producer, Alyssa? Because Vanessa's got a story that if you missed it in the show this morning, you kind of want to hear it now.
Yes. Are we going to do it?
Sheila, I like your name too. Oh, yes. Story time.
Love it. Okay, so the story time that I have to share with you. So when I was born, my name was Rochelle for a day. I don't know why my mom liked it, she said, and then the doctor didn't come in the next day to sign the birth certificate. Somehow either he was sick or he was busy, whatever it was, so then she changed it to Vanessa, and I'm super thankful that she did. I feel like I'm a Vanessa more than a Rochelle. I like the name Rochelle.
I'm sorry, I like Rochelle. I think you'd be a hotter Rochelle.
A hotter Rochelle.
If I never met you and they said, well, we're going to hook you up with a Vanessa or a Rochelle, I said, hook me up with the Rochelle. But
so
you are
my
gorgeous.
initials would
You
be
are
R and
gorgeous.
R.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's even cooler.
Yeah.
Instead of VR, you know?
R&R. Get some R&R with.
It was funny because people were calling her the next day and they're like, how's Rochelle doing? And she goes, who's that? And they're like, your daughter. And she goes, oh, I changed it to Vanessa.
Who's that? No, sorry, know about that name here.
Yeah. So that's my little story. Isn't that kind of neat? It's kind of neat to share with people.
Let's get in the comment section a little bit. April, Stormy. That's what the doctor named me because my mom thought she was having a boy. Ended up with April, which she would have kept. Hubby is a Floyd, goes by his middle name, according to Lisa. You want to read some of these? I'm so stuffy.
Yeah,
I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't even want to talk.
Deanna loves her name.
Sarah said, my name is Sarah, would rather be Lexi. Why would you rather be Lexi, Sarah? Sheila likes her name. It's great. Shonda said, I allowed my son to change his first name, keeping his prior first name as a middle name. Oh, so she let him change it because he wanted.
I
So
know a
what's
guy
his
that
first
did
name?
that. His
Well, a
name
lot of
was-
people, if
his
you don't
name
like
was-
your first name,
His name
they
was
use-
Steve Hayner, and he changed it to Clay.
Clay.
Yeah.
But people go by their middle name if they
I
don't
still
like
call
their
him
first name.
Steve.
What's your middle name? James
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, I love my name. I think a name is, you need to teach your kids. It doesn't matter what we name you. You need to turn it into something.
Yeah.
I think a
gotta
lot of
own
parents
it.
have this magical, like, oh, you're going to be a Clint, just like Clint Eastwood. You're going to be a Cruz. I'm going to call you Cruz, and you're going to be just like, so, you know, the kids got to make it up.
Yeah.
'Cause there's also, for all the cool names and successful people, there's like a lot of great people with great names, and they're losers. So.
You ever run across somebody that has like the best TV name? I worked with 2 great TV name people, and I'm always like, if I had your name, I'd make it so far in this business.
Exactly.
Worked with a Lindsay Lambert, which is a great TV
That's a
name.
great name.
And I worked with an Austin Love. He's in Cleveland now.
Austin Love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
it's
great
his real
TV
name.
names.
Okay.
It's a great name.
Sarah chimed back in. She said, Lexi is cute. Sarah is everyone's grandma.
Paul is a grandpa name. I feel
Yeah.
like Grandpa Paul. Some days I feel like Grandpa Paul. This is a good one from Gay Hardy here in the comment section. At the time I was born, my name had a different meaning. Today it's a conversation that has caused some confusion with the younger generation, but I love my name and its original meaning.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
Linda said, my dad named me Linda Lou, and I'm happy with that. Oh, I like that, Linda Lou.
Chewbacca, says Richard. Richard, I could tell in your profile picture you got a little beard, maybe at least a goatee there. Chewbacca's fitting, my friend. You do a good Chewbacca impression, don't
Can't
you?
do it anymore right now.
Do it.
I tried
Oh,
to do a
anymore.
good Cher impression this morning, and that didn't work either.
She was lucky her Cher impression didn't get caught.
Yeah, so good thing I did it, but the camera didn't take 2
I
minutes.
can do
so.
Cher. I was born in the wagon of a traveling show. My
And
mama
then
was.
she's always like, looking around and looking around.
There it is. We need the steady
I like
cam to
it.
get right up in there into that mess.
Sure.
Sirocco says, my parents were going to name me Bartholomew, and then
Good
I was a
biblical
surprise
name.
girl.
Oh.
A lot of people call me Rocky, she says.
That is a good biblical name. What about, we need to go back to those names. Levi, Mordecai, Bartholomew, Moses. Those are good, solid names. Good foundation.
Those people lived
James-
hundreds of years.
James and Paul. That's from the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, the hard part is now we know the gender, right? Or you can find out the gender of
Yeah.
your baby, but back then you couldn't. So it's like you have to pick multiple names
Yeah.
for your child, and then once you see the baby, if it's a boy or a girl, and then pick a name from there. It's like, you know, and then usually you're not feeling too well right after the baby. So you have to make this difficult decision.
I don't know. You ever ask Emma how she feels right after giving birth? I bet it's like $1 million, right? Emma says she's got a name picked out, but she's not going to tell anybody on air yet.
Emma's a pro about it, though. She
is.
loves it. Like, she loves every minute of it.
We've been calling that baby TBD, like to be
announced.
determined, but
Yeah.
also like I could see someone naming their kid TBD. I bet there is a human named TBD somewhere
sure.
on this planet. TEEBEEDEE.
Her husband Brad's about to
that.
have his hands full.
Yeah, no kidding. You
Lots
need
of
an extra
ladies
couple
in his
arms.
house.
You know, here's my pet peeve with names. If you're going to name a child, the biggest example I can come up with is Cindy. Just make sure you spell it normal, phonetically. C-I-N-D-Y. Because back in the 90s, early 2000s, I remember there was this trend. Everyone was like, it's C-Y-N-D-I.
Yeah,
or
it's still like that,
C-C-Y.
man. I got news for you. It's
You're going to
still
wreck
like that.
your whole kids. People
Yeah.
are going to misspell it for the
Yeah.
rest of their stinking life. Just spell it the way it's supposed to be spelled. Don't try to make it that unique.
So
I have a friend.
go ahead.
Oh,
Ladies first.
Sorry, I have a friend. His name's Dennis.
Yeah.
But he's named after his father and then his grandfather, right? So somehow they spelled his name with just one N, so it's D-N-I-S.
Denise.
Stupid. Just dumb.
But it comes all the way back from like his grandfather. So I'm like, it's 2 N's. He goes, I don't know. My grandma or whoever named her grandfather put it with 1 N. So now everybody.
Because that
Now
would
he's
make me
gotta-
think the French Denis. I wouldn't pronounce that Dennis.
So the rest of his life, he's going, oh, no, there's just one N. Okay,
Yeah.
let's stop, let's change.
Every
oh, no,
single time.
Here's your certificate of achievement. Oh, you misspelled it. You know, come on, folks.
Like, so there are some situations in which that can get you into a little bit of trouble having a funny spelled first or last name.
Yeah.
Like, if it's misprinted on, let's say, a passport, or let's say, less serious than that, but like an airline ticket or something like that, they're not supposed to let you on the plane if your name is even a character different
Yep.
than as it appears on your license.
Driver's
Yeah.
license, yeah.
I mean, forget about calling in your pizza order or your Starbucks order and getting your name screwed up then. There are more serious times when if your name is spelled funny, it could be a real hassle.
The only thing that I've said it before, the only thing that's going to make your child unique in this world is your child's achievements. Not the name.
Yeah.
Whatever you name your kid, you can name your kid Harry.
The little crying
right?
sound. Yeah.
Harry average name. Who named their kid Harry? Well, there's Harry Connick Jr. Achievements. All of a sudden, Harry
Right.
Connick Jr. sounds pretty good.
Are you going to read Chloe's?
Yeah, I want to get to Chloe's comment in just a second, but first we got to address two more things.
Okay.
One, we have a dessert bracket challenge running in the show. I imagine this might be getting a little tiresome for some viewers, but we got to fill out the bracket and finish this thing. So today's matchup, chocolate chip cookies taking on donuts, the 1 seed and the 2 seed in the Classics Regional. The poll just popped up. It's 50-50 right now. Whoever gets the most votes advances in the dessert bracket challenge. And I've got a vested interest in this.
Excited.
Because I think one of these two might be a sneaky favorite to win it all. And we get the championship desserts in studio next Monday to determine the winner. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying which one of these is my favorite. Frankly, I don't care who moves on.
What's our choices today?
Chocolate chip cookies and donuts. They're classics.
I'm going with donuts. It's falling behind right now at 46%. But I would love to have a peanut butter and jelly donut. They've brought them in before, and it's amazing.
Can you honestly beat, though, like a freshly baked, soft, gooey chocolate chip cookie? Can you beat that? Because I can't think of anything better. It's a classic.
Have you tried the peanut butter and jelly donut?
That's too much.
It's amazing.
I just like a regular glazed donut.
Yeah.
Just a glazed
complicate
donut
things.
and a good cup of coffee.
Okay.
Which you need to take up coffee.
I can get down with some custard in the middle of a donut.
Oh.
A little custard
it's
donut, a little
messy.
Boston cream
Yeah, a little
action.
Boston, yeah, cream filled.
I don't know. Anyway, vote right now, 12news.com/bullhorn if you want to do it there. I think you can also vote right here on the Facebook. More of your viewer comments in just a second, but first, ICYMI. It's a segment called In Case You Missed It. If you didn't watch the newscast today in AZ this morning, it's cool because we cropped one of our favorite moments just for you. Take a look. Are weddings getting too expensive for guests? A new survey shows 1 in 5 people choose not to go to a wedding because, frankly, it costs too much. The average amount a guest expects to spend on a wedding, $628 American.
That's a lot.
A destination wedding adds to that cost, obviously, which is probably why 56% of Americans aren't on board for one. And for those who do go to a wedding, 30% also say they will spend less on a gift to offset the cost of travel. I couldn't agree more.
I know. I was actually really happy when one of my girlfriends from college was having her wedding this weekend, which is when I'm hopefully having.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Emma.
But it is hard because it is so expensive.
It's almost like getting a bill in the mail.
Right, with
An
all the
invitation,
money.
it's, $1,000?
Kinda is.
But I think they think it's okay because they're spending thousands on the wedding, so it's
Totally.
like, kind of
Absolutely.
trade in return.
It becomes this weird thing where you have to somehow balance the cost of your friendship. It's like, am I good enough friends with you to spend a huge chunk of money, or are we just
Totally.
like pals?
That's why you just go half on a gift with another friend, so it seems like a larger amount.
Hey, that's what I just did.
You did?
yes. Yes. Lumen and Con, it's coming your way.
Giving away your tips for free.
There you go. That is a good tip.
How do you feel about the wedding conversation? Because you've been
All
to a few, my
three
friend.
nailed it.
Oh.
Like, you have to weigh your friendship because it's true. I've lost temporary friends over something
Yeah.
like this. I had a friend that had their wedding cross country on a Monday. You do that on a Monday because obviously she got a better rate.
Yeah.
You got to understand certain people
Yeah, I
can't
can't
make
get the
it
day off.
because then I had to take a Tuesday off. So I had to leave that weekend, take a Monday, take a Tuesday. I couldn't make it that week. And yeah, they cost way too much. It is. You got to understand. It's a lot. I'm going to a wedding now. It's going to be well over $600 just for the flight.
Yeah.
To get over there.
get over there.
To the other side of the country. So.
It costs even more when you're like in the wedding
In
party
the
too.
wedding,
like
yes.
because my closest friends that have been married, it's like you kind of know going in, this is going to cost me thousands of dollars to do this. Whether it starts with the guy's bachelor party. I'll use my friend Dave as an example. I was one of the groomsmen in his wedding a couple of years ago. So first it's the bachelor party.
Yep.
You're talking hotel, Vegas.
And we're all
whatever.
pitching in for him too.
Sure,
Yeah.
because we're covering his
Yep.
costs. We're not going to make
Yep.
him pay a dime. So not only your costs, but his up front. Then you got to fly back for the wedding. You got to get a room for the wedding. Well, they got a deal. Okay, so it's not as expensive as it would be otherwise, but you're still shelling out hundreds of dollars. And then the flights. I mean, because the wedding invites I get now are not people in Arizona. I haven't lived here long enough for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's mostly people out of town. It's a big expense. And I have a question for you people in the comment section. If somebody doesn't go to your wedding because of financial circumstances or work scheduling circumstances, are you really upset about it, that they're not there to share your special day?
Yes.
Or are you more prone to understanding that, like, you know what, I get it?
No, brides get wacky.
Do they?
They really,
I don't
really
want to
do.
make it a male
Yeah.
and female thing. I think that whoever gets upset about it, but I've heard Bridezilla stories.
Yeah. This girl, a friend of mine, she was a friend. She didn't talk to me for about 3 years.
Holy cow.
She was ticked off. I said, I'm
That you didn't
sorry.
attend
You
her
know?
wedding?
was one of those cool things where I told her way in advance, can't make it. She said, oh, it's all right. Then it just got worse and worse. And it's, it's way too much. I think people spend way beyond their means. And then I think you should say, hey, if you're coming in from Idaho, I would tell you, from wherever, don't bring a present.
Yeah.
You being there is going to be the world.
Right, that's
I don't
true.
want you worrying about that. But nope, you get thrown in, and then they pull you aside. Oh, we're getting a present for the bride, for the groom. I was in my buddy of mine's wedding that, I don't care if you're having a wedding. I don't even care if you don't invite me. I get that. Say, dude, it's going to cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, count me out so you don't have to worry about it. So you can bring grandma or whoever. But they made me ushers, me and my buddy, ushers. So we had to go rent a stinking tux.
Right.
Yep.
We weren't even on the wedding pictures, just so they could be part of the whole. I'm like, come on. And I think it had more to do with the bride wanting a bigger thing. So.
I've had the other end where my cousin, they couldn't afford a big wedding, so they only could invite so many people. But we have a huge family on my dad's side, so a lot of people got offended that they weren't invited, and only like certain people were invited. And it's like, why did they get invited over us? So it's tricky. I mean, even if you're planning a wedding too and you can't afford it.
I eloped. I recommend it. Highly, highly recommend
I was just
eloping.
gonna say that. Elope right to the courthouse.
That was the most intimate experience I went through with her, and I remember every last second of it. I didn't have to say hi to cousin Morty, who I haven't seen in 30 years. It was just us, everything, all the way from the glass of celebratory champagne before to after, to the pictures, to everything we did, to the most amazing dinner ever. And I think you miss out on that because you want something really big, and you get into debt, get a down payment on a house. Yeah, if your dad's last name is Gates or they work with Microsoft, fine, go for it. Rent out the country club. But some of these people, they destroy themselves. I know. I just went to a wedding recently, Le Berge, up in Sedona. Parents dipped into their 401k to pay for this daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Why? It's about the experience, and you can actually have a big wedding on the cheap.
Yeah.
You go to the church. You go to your hall.
Yeah.
You do a potluck. You have friends bring stuff.
Sure.
Come on,
I mean, there's
folks.
different ways to go
You don't
about
have
it,
to
yeah.
like impress people. I think
And that's it. No, that's the nail on the head.
There you go.
They're putting on a show for the people who don't appreciate it because they're all complaining about the money they had to spend to be there in the first place.
Yes.
You're defeating the purpose. That's not what the celebration is supposed to be.
You're
It's
right.
tricky all over.
And the same thing goes for the engagement rings. There's some parts of the world,
Well,
I'll
we got
say
them
it.
going now.
I'll say it.
We got them going
Europe, yeah, a simple band for men and women. And now in America, you got to brag and make up for how much money. You're getting a huge debt to get her that gigantic
Yeah.
watch. And women are nasty. I've seen them. They carry like little loops in their pockets, and I've seen them zooming in on the pictures.
What do you mean?
When a girl gets engaged,
Oh, that's the first thing they do.
Zoom in.
They
Oh,
do.
it's
They
so
zoom right
beautiful.
in on the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the size of that rock.
Oh, no, it's a little.
Well,
Wow,
every
wow.
lady shows it off. I just have a friend that got engaged this weekend, and every picture she had, it was like this and like this.
Yeah,
and on his
exactly.
shoulders.
Size of that baby right
see,
there.
that's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You know what? You show up with a little band or something. Those other I've seen girls will pick behind their back. That's beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie. I want a nice size ring when I get engaged.
That's okay.
I couldn't
You know
care
what?
less.
That's okay. But
Couldn't care
if
less.
your guy's got to go into major hawk to get
right.
it,
I wouldn't want him to do that.
then marry a guy that can afford it, and you guys are good to go. And if you want a gigantic wedding, marry somebody that has, or pitch in for yourself and have a gigantic one. But
Well, and
I
then
think
people get in debt these days because it's not. Remember back in the day, the father of the bride
Yeah.
used to pay for the wedding, but now people don't.
Yeah, what's your
Oh.
dowry like? How many sheep are we getting?
exactly.
So now people aren't doing that. Instead they're taking out loans to have a wedding, and it's like, would you rather have a nice wedding or go on a nice honeymoon? That's another thing too.
How about a down payment on a house once again?
That too.
And then you can party the rest of your life with the people you love in your house that you own.
Financial advisor James Quinones. They say you really have a party for the first one, but the second wedding is always a little more chill.
Now
know?
the third wedding should
you
be-
learn your
that
lesson
should
the
be
second,
definitely
third, fourth
slow.
time around. I actually had a couple friends that were really chill about this whole thing, which I appreciate. Mike and Danielle, you're not watching, but I appreciate you. I was in a situation with work where I could choose whether I went to the bachelor party or the wedding. There was no way I could get both off. And so I just kind of asked him, like, well, listen, guys, it's your special day. Where do you want me? And his wife, to his credit, was like, you're probably better served at the bachelor party. And I was like, all right, I appreciate that. So
Awesome.
we went, we did a big thing in Bend, and then the wedding, they knew I wasn't going to be there. They had a Cards Against Humanity game with giant cards that they had all the guests fill out Mad Lib answers to, and then they read some of the fun ones in the reception. And one of the cards is one of my favorite pictures I've ever seen. Is unfortunately, Paul was unable to attend tonight's ceremony because he was blank. And like that was one of the cards at the game, so everyone got to make fun of me
See, and that was
while
so
I was
cool.
gone. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool.
I got another funny. You don't need to run the graphic. Funny
No,
story.
run it.
I got a story. Let's run the story graphic. Come on, get up there. Who's quick? How fast are they?
There it
Here we
is.
Go. So my buddy, he's a big anchor now, big-time anchor up in Atlanta. Fred Blankenship. I'll name his name and everything.
Okay.
Great TV name.
Fred doesn't drink. So he goes to this bachelor party with his buddies, a huge bachelor party. There was a big gift they pitched in for, which he ended up somehow paying way more than he probably should have, and he was real cool about it. Then they go to the bachelor party, this big place up in San Diego called Stingery, and they start doing bottle service, and one thing leads to another. Then the girls always show up. A lot of girls saying, yeah, the guys start pouring drinks for these strange girls.
How does that happen?
Yeah, exactly. They're showing up. You buy a bottle, $800, $1,000 for these bottles. They got another bottle. End of the night, it comes up. Bill comes, the guys, we got to pitch in for this, and Fred's there. Fred's like, he sits there, and this Bill came to $4,000. 4,000 guys, we got to pitch in for this. And Fred says, you know what? I'm going to say, right, guys, I pitched in way more for the gift, and I have no problem with that. That's totally cool. But tonight, I had a cranberry juice. I had one cranberry juice, guys.
Wow.
He says, you know what? And I have no problems. The most I've ever spent on a cranberry juice was $50. You guys figure it out. And he left. No problem.
Good for him.
Exactly.
Good for him.
But these guys were pouring drinks for every girl in the club, trying to meet new girls and
Trying to
stuff.
impress.
Not on him, not
And
his
he
problem.
and to this day, he says, most I ever spent on a cranberry juice. I had no problem with it. $50. You guys figure out the rest.
Unreal.
He
We're
said-
asking you guys to figure out the dessert bracket, by the way. Let's pop up the
Let's
graphic
see.
one more time.
Yeah.
I hope donut changed. Please.
Chocolate chips and donuts.
Because I would love to have some donuts in the studio.
Chocolate chip
Dang
cookies.
it.
Sorry about your luck, girl.
Dang it.
No luck there.
29%.
The prompter just went on the fritz.
Oh, no. This is crazy.
We got a story about fuel centers up there now. Good thing there's nothing left to read in the rest of the show today.
Yeah.
This is good talk about weddings and stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of people chiming in about
I
their
Got a couple
names.
more name comments. I told Chloe earlier that I was going to address her comment, and then I kind of forgot, but not really, because we're going to do it now. Chloe says, I never minded my name until the Kardashians came along. We talked about that on the show. When celebrities choose to name their kids a certain name, it sort of poisons the well for the general populace, because you can't talk about Chloe without thinking Khloe Kardashian.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or maybe when somebody becomes famous, that has like an old lady's name.
Yeah.
Like Emma Thompson, and then the Emmas start going.
Stone now,
Emma
yeah.
Stone. Now Emma's a young name, but I'm telling you, back in the 90s and before that, in the 80s, Emma was like an old lady.
Yeah.
It really was.
I think Rose is another one of those where you think like,
Huh?
and no offense to any of the senior citizens watching the show this morning, but you think of Rose as an older individual's name.
That's my
Sure.
grandmother's name.
Right. And then Titanic introduced a younger Rose.
Yeah.
And there was a whole wave of young roses blossoming.
Oh, give it another 40 years. All the old ladies running around town here will be named Brittany and Courtney. And they'll have all these different names. But
You're literally naming producers that work at our station right now.
yeah,
Keep going.
very young producers. Very young. So.
Okay.
Producer Alyssa says it's time to get going. Alyssa,
Oh,
do you like your
Alyssa.
name? Roger says would name my daughter Tripton. His last name is Fell. Tripton Fell. Comment to the morning, Roger.
Well
Bravo
done.
Trivia.
Well done, Tripton.
We'll do this again at 7:30 tomorrow. Different topic, same awkward table. Before we go, though, it's time to write the winner on the wall.
And I'm sad.
Chocolate chip cookies moving on.
Of course, it's American.
Sorry, donuts. Donuts barely escaped the first round. Don't feel bad for them.
Aren't donuts from France or something?
Chocolate chip. Those are beignets, Jimmy. That's a
Oh,
different thing.
sorry about that.
Chocolate chip cookies moving on to face the winner of brownies or Girl Scout cookies. I forgot to write this in. Cheesecake on the other side of the bracket. They advanced earlier this morning. Tomorrow on the show, ice cream, cake versus gelato.
Oh.
Real serious business. Only one can advance. You'll find out who tomorrow at 7:30 on the after show. Be good, people.
Bye. Have a great day.
Oh, real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Paul's throwing stuff out.
It's time to scratch and claw. Your Yotes are 2 points out of a
Go
playoff
Yotes!
spot. 3 games to go tonight against the Kings. Ow! Oh! Yes, sir.